Rajapaksa is doing a great job keeping the forwards together and meeting fire with fire. Warrior breach, so the loose forwards are in the thick of things. It's good to see the Sri Lanka forwards taking the game to the Polish forwards. That's great to see.
You talk about the pack weight. There's a 20 kg difference. You can easily wipe that out. It just needs a little bit more petrol and aggression in the breakdowns. And if you can do that, and if you believe you can do that, it starts to happen. Namal Rajapaksa has a warrior brain, and he will not give anything away. He's crafty, he's clever, and I'm so glad to see that he's actually got a little bit more fitness in his engine. It's good to see that he's working hard.
And Shanaka, I think you are happy with Fernando's display at number 10. He's got a bit of confidence. His support lines is really good, the way he supported that try, and he's running some good lines, and we are seeing quietly the whole thing coming together, Shanaka. And the second half, I believe, is going to be very important for us.
Here's a chance, Shanaka. Here's a very big chance for Riza, because we won a penalty. We talked about Niroshan, Ajit, and it is about confidence. That first game, he just lacked confidence. This game, he's already done the hard work, and you saw him starting to straighten his lineup and actually do the work a fly half can do. He can be a damager. He's a very creative player, and he's got some great skills.
Yes, he's improved in leaps and bounds. In fact, if there was an award for the most improved player, he'd probably get it, as Riza unfortunately hooks that to the left.
Half time.
And that's half time, so Sri Lanka go in without a 1-point lead. They're trailing by 2, but that's absolutely nothing in it, as we see the two Visipatana lads running off. They played together for so many years, Srinath Surya Bandara and Riza Mubarak. They'll be hatching a plan to come back out and get Sri Lanka into this lead. It doesn't matter who's in the lead at 40 minutes, it matters who's in the lead at 80 minutes. This big Poland side has been battering Sri Lanka all 40 minutes, but we are still in it with more than a shout. Sri Lanka 13, and at halftime, Poland 15 at this wonderful racecourse stadium, which is now completely dry, Shan, and we should be looking for an absolute grandstand finish to this Dialog Serendip Cup.
Have a look at the highlights as well for all of you watching. If you're recapping, if you're just wondering, it's 13-15 to Poland. Anything, everything to play for. It was Poland's first quarter, you have to say that, because they were very strong, they set up nicely, they did exactly what they wanted to and went to plan. Sri Lanka missed out a little at the start because they were a little hesitant, and once they started playing again, Sri Lanka came strong. Here's Southern Hera picking up nicely. He is difficult to catch at any given stage. He's off the 7th circuit, he's so very fit, and look at him go. When he gets a little bit of space, he is an impossible human being. He's scored 50 points in the circuit already. He scored 10 tries in that IRB or the Asian series. And Niroshan, right place, right time. Good for his confidence. Good for Sri Lanka. Look at this, the reaction. Unfortunately, Poland come back with a very good try. Look at the control on that hand. Delightful. Those in slow motion make rugby what it is. Magnificent try from Poland. A kick which he chased down himself. Here's the glam and the protocol and the brilliance of the racecourse coming alive with the forces. This racecourse here in Sri Lanka, Shanaka, is untouched around the world. Here's the scoreline and the stats.
Yes, 2 tries for Poland, and just had 1 try to Niroshan Fernando for Sri Lanka. 15 plays 13. We'll be back with the second half of Sri Lanka versus Poland just after the break. Welcome back to live action here at the Racecourse Ground. Sri Lanka playing Poland in what is a second place battle of the Dialog Serendip Cup. This is the final game here in this first IRB sanctioned tournament here in Sri Lanka, also featuring the champions of Madagascar. We're streaming this game live to you also on www.mtvsports.lk, so you can catch it from wherever you are in the world. But Sri Lanka coming back strongly at the end of that last 40 minutes. This is a team that will need to go 2 or 3 points better than the Poles do in this next 40 minutes, Sean.
Well, we talked about it at the start. We tried to lay out what Sri Lanka might have to do, that they're going to have to step up to the mark. And today, I rather think, Shanaka, Ajit has also mentioned it, Sri Lanka will have to play out of their skins. They're going to have to play 150% more than they've already played, because if they want to beat Poland today and actually get to that last winning post, they're going to have to outplay Poland. They cannot just match up Poland and stay there. You're going to have to outplay them like they did in the last 5 minutes. Outthink them, outplay them, outmaneuver. Because up front is very difficult, and I understand. My heart goes out to the forwards today because they are going to get battered so much. Nama Rajapaksa will lead from the front, but his front row, you know how difficult it gets in the second half today. Sri Lanka will have to guts it up and show what they're made of.
Mirosh takes that restart, and already they have made about 10 meters, the Poland team, with just a two-man driving maul. And they'll do more of that. Their coach would definitely have told them that. The try scorer takes it up, Berchevsky. And this is the man that is a weak link for that Poland team as far as I can read it so far. Devontic, the fly half. Nigel Ratwatta gives it to Rohit Rajapaksa, who puts a kick in. But he knew that there was advantage coming, which is why he did that.
Sri Lankans have to think before they actually react, Shanaka, because if they just play very loose, they're going to get punished. If they try and keep it tight with good ball and use every little inch of good ball they get, they've got to use it maximum today. And that's really what Namal and his 8 have to do. And for Niroshan, if it's Niroshan or if Fazul comes on, whichever, Suri Bandara is an outstanding. If we can get Suri Bandara into space, we're looking at good points for Sri Lanka.
Bye.
Saw Suri having a small word with the man at the back of his 820 kilo pack, and that was exactly the word. Bilal, give it to Niro, was what he said. And Dubrovsky has chased this one back. Pavlicek actually thinks he'll have a run. Good work by Sandon Hare up there. Superb defense on the big man.
Number 7, offside.
This is exactly what we have to. Unfortunately, just a little bit of eagerness there at the breakdown. Had Sri Lanka been able to get that turnover, we were looking at some serious yards. Here it is.
This is Pavlicek.
Number 7, offside.
Nicely collared by Danushka Pereira and Sandun Herat, and again Sharo Fernando giving away the penalty.
I didn't want to say anything. I was just going to watch and not say anything about the number 5, but I was going to say number 5 and not say Sharo, but there he is. He was there, but it's just that little thought that has to stop.
Given to the man, he's all over the field, and I suppose you have to make a few mistakes, but his work rate is quite amazing from that position that he can get around, sometimes even before the loose forwards. It's quite amazing that he can keep the game going or keep himself going right through the game.
True. He really is a glut for work. That's what you want. And those are the little errors that will give Sri Lanka a little look in. And we've got to use the opportunity when we get. Here it is. This is just unfortunate. A perfect pass.
And that was Plonka. He thought he had a halfback outside him, not a giant prop forward. Halfback would definitely have collected that low to the ground. And it's good for Sri Lanka that they managed to force an error out of the line out there, because that looked like it was another maul that was going to set up for another rumble. That's a great propping by the tight head. That's Henry on this side, driven straight in, managed to get away with it. Sadun Herat now with a chance to breach the defense of the Poles, which has not been tested yet.
Just preventing the ball from coming out, and Poland get a chance now to strike back. Those are the little mistakes that will creep in, and we've got to try and clean that up, because if we do that, then we give ball back to Poland, and that's not what you want.
This is Big Dubrovsky, the number 8.
No hand wide.
Probably twice the size of Bilal, but not nearly half the player. It'll be devastating to see what Hassan would do with that sort of size.
Good tackle.
Zriba puts the kick in. This is Laurentovic's kick that Riza Mubarak feels nicely and gets a good touch for his team. And that's a lovely kick. It's just got them beyond even the halfway, and this is where Riza is so important to the Sri Lanka team. He's just a slight lad, very unassuming, very nondescript when you look at him off the field. But you put him in a pair of rugby boots and put a ball in his hand, And this is what he can do for you. And he pulled off some outstanding last-ditch tackles also against Madagascar, which kept Sri Lanka in the game for much longer than they should have been. He's really an outstanding player in this 15 jumper.
Yes, he is. He's got very silky smooth skills to add to all of that. And I rather think that first game is all forgotten now, because Sri Lanka have rewritten a little bit of their form in this game today. And that's something that has really surprised a lot of people, but not the team, because I know they worked very hard at it. And they'll be pleasantly surprised about what they can do to Poland if they actually put their heads into it.
This is that driving maul that Poland look like they've got going again. Remember, the England team of 2003 had this down to a perfect art form, and Poland look like they're not too bad at it either. So the referee will have to see whether this stops. If it stops, he's got to give them 5 minutes to use it, and you can see the scrum half. That's Zorawski, who waits for the ball. Lorentovic now puts the kick in, and there's a chase on here. Oh, that's unfortunate for Poland, because Pavlicek drops that one. Went up for it nicely. He's a try scorer.
Have a look at this, Shanaka. This is unfortunate, because I think, there's a bit of a clatter there in the process. Is that Reza on the deck? He did really take a little bit of crunch there. He's up nicely though. The ice comes out as the Sri Lankan physio comes running out. So that's all right. So here we go. That's important. Reza is able to focus as well. It was quite a hard hit in the process if you see the replay, but good for the lad to be able to stand up, just take a little bit of ice and calm it down.
Yes, he got a bit of a smack to the back of the neck there, because that tackle was when Pavlicek was actually flying at him, literally almost, because he was up in the air. And now the Polish forwards look like they're going to get an injection of fresh legs, and this won't be happy for the Sri Lankan team, because their bench is probably a lot lighter than the Polish bench is at the moment. See the flanker on the bench, Majcha, and look at those two big second row forwards, Mirosh and Bartosek. This is an important scrum for Sri Lanka, just to keep their confidence going. Yes, 9, says the referee. And here we go, Dabrowski unfortunately winning that scrum for Poland. Poland looking to spread it quickly but come back inside. Got to do what works for them.
That was a good win for that scrum for Poland. They will now punish Sri Lanka a little bit here.
Back!
Lorentovic now looks for the big man outside. This is Banacek. Banacek manages to get the ball away. They've got numbers on the outside here. This is Ignacek who comes in. Now Poland rumble towards the line. Do they have what it takes to finish this move? Berchazewski, the big try scorer, the number 1. And luckily for Sri Lanka, he knocks it on. But Sri Lanka under the cosh, but the defense holding, Shan. It's still 7 minutes, but we've got 33 minutes to go, and they'll need to hold on like terriers.
They will certainly need to hold on, and that's something that they're ready for, I'm sure. Look at these big digits just running up. Unfortunately for Poland, they couldn't hold on to the ball. They just squeezed out of their hand. But Sri Lanka's defense, good to see the one-on-one coming in. That's what you really need to do. You need to be able to punch and hit hard, Ajit, and not get shifted back. And that's what Sri Lanka are doing. They're still matching Poland in the tackles and pushing them back, which is nice. They're driving them back a little bit. Despite the heavier forwards, that 20 kg difference, you can really make it up in the loose play, can't you?
Yes, and a lot of heart in the Sri Lanka defense, very vigorous, and they attack the man that's coming, and that's stopping them in the tracks. That's very important, because otherwise you tend to take 2-3 men over every time that you take the ball in. So the ball carriers of the Polish side are really up against a tough Sri Lanka pack led by Namal Rajapaksa, who are doing a great job defending and causing them to make errors. That's the best thing that we see.
That's it. And here it is again. Bilal takes the quick tap again. This is what you have to do. You talked about the reaction time and the thinking, and you talk about the tackles. It's about getting up really quickly on those tackles. If you can do that, here it is. Here's a